Right here. Are we good? Are we going?
Yeah, I guess Travis is starting us out. We're gonna go with the spotlight. We're gonna just go into the spotlight song for this week
by Riley Cobb.
So Great. Let's just play.
Okay, Riley. Let's get you on the video. Let's go. Let me pause. Young homie, what you tripping on? Thank you, Riley. Riley Cobb. I don't say it. It's cool. I tried. Riley, thank you for that request. He must not have been able to turn on his video. He might be dealing with his kids or something like that. He wasn't able to turn on his video or anything, but thank you, Riley. Just a new segment that we've started is if there's a special song that is special to you that you would like to send me throughout the week, and then that can be our featured song in the segment here to start out the night. You can do that. So shoot me a song, and Kathy Hewlett, I did get yours, so yours is in the queue for next time. And so anybody else, just shoot me that throughout the week, and we'll add it to the list. So welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. Really great to see you all on this warm evening. Great to see everybody here from home. Couple things to start out. Everybody starts out muted. I don't see anybody new people, so I think you all already know the drill. But let me put a little reminder out there for Mom's Group tomorrow. If you haven't joined us for a Mom's Group, you are welcome to pop in anytime, even if you haven't been yet. You will be right at home. It won't be weird for you just to come now. So please join us. If you're available tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. for 1 hour, join us, ladies. It's just a really great opportunity for us all to connect and have coffee together, get to know each other a little more, talk about the topic from the night before. It's so helpful that we can just process it together. It's just been a really nice time on Wednesday. So if you need the link, you can shoot me or Kristen a message and have that link. So please join us. And I had told you all last week that we would have an announcement tonight about Run for Recovery. It's actually going to be next week. So Tim Keaty will join us next week and announce the plan for that. There's just some final things, I's to dot and T's to cross there, and we'll have all the information by next week to announce. We're going to do it virtually because we're still in this COVID deal. So we're going to do it virtually, and it will be in Recovery Month. September is National Recovery Month. So we will be doing it during that time, and Tim will be on next week to give you all the details. And then other than that, it's just let's go over to Kyle for our, why do I always have the hardest time saying it? Kyle's corny, because I think I would like to avoid saying corny, Kyle. I think that's why. I think that's why I struggle with the name, because I don't like saying corny. But this is Kyle from Rebuild Recovery, and he brings us our comedy each week.
I have to change my jokes.
Yes. Kyle's horny comedy corner.
There we go. I think I feel weird saying that.
She didn't even hear it.
I think that's why I struggle after all this time saying it, because I'm like, I don't want to say corny.
They're corny.
Well, okay. Take it away, Kyle.
Okay. I've decided to take part in a stair climbing championship. I gotta step up my game. My ex-girlfriend said she was gonna leave me because I had this really severe obsession for the monkeys. I thought she was joking. Then I saw her face. She wasn't joking. What's green? Has 4 legs. And if it fell from a tree, it would most likely kill you. A pool table. What's the difference between a hunter and a fisherman, Josh? A hunter lies and waits. A fisherman waits and then he lies. This big.
How big was it?
It was this big. What music should you listen to while fishing? Something catchy. You got to catchy those fish. Why did the octopus blush? Because he saw the ocean's bottom. What did the turkey say to the turkey hunter? Quack, quack, quack. What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Shakespeare. I don't like that one. What do you get when you cross an Olympic swimmer with an elephant? Swimming trunks. I was going to tell another swimming joke, but it's just too watered down. What's the best kind of booze to have at a dance? For those that are clean and sober, that are not in recovery. The best kind of booze to have to a dance is a wild twerky. What do you call a potato at a hockey game? A spectator. That's all I got.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Kyle. Oh, something happened. Oh, is it just me? Because I lost everybody.
It's just you.
Oh, okay. There we go. Everybody's back. All right.
Am I on? Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
It says mute here. Is it not muted? How's it sound?
We're good. We're good. I'm getting some messages saying my internet is unstable. So let's hope we're okay here. So
You're
We're ready
getting
to go.
messages from
yeah,
people?
I'm getting messages about my internet. I don't know why. That's weird, but hopefully we're okay. Take it away, Art.
Okay. Yeah, Travis came home from work today, and he told me about his day. And at work, what they did today was they installed trim. And so he was telling me that you have to measure the trim, and then you have to cut the trim, and then you have to bring up the trim and you have to place it. And, you have to cut 22.5-degree angles and 45-degree angles and make those angles meet each other. And I was envious because he was telling me that it was satisfactory, or that it was satisfying to do the work. And I thought about it for a while, and I thought, we were talking about it. We were talking about how this thing is measured and then it's placed, and how perfect that is, and how his job is if you do it wrong, there is just doing it wrong. Like, you can make a mistake doing it, and you can also do it right. So there's a right way and there's a wrong way. And then there's like another pile where you can put the boards that maybe could be used somewhere else if you screwed up. And then there's like boards you just can't use at all because you made them too short and you can't recover from that. But it just reminded me of how satisfying it must be to do that work at the end of the day, and to be able to measure it, to be able to look and see that you were 100% successful, 90% successful, that you had success in what you were doing, and that there can be perfection in it, that somebody could cut these perfect pieces of trim and it can be measured. And then by the end of the day, it can be quantified, and we could do a good job or a bad job. And then if you did a bad job, you could apologize. You could say, I screwed up. I made a mistake, did it wrong. It's known that you did it wrong. It's known that that's okay. We can forgive it, and then we can move on. And somebody just has to say, I made a mistake. That's it. Now, that's not like the work that we do here with the families, and the work we do here with what we do here at this house and what we do in this program. And that's not the work of recovery. See, it's different. What we're dealing with here isn't exact. In fact, it's not even close. What we're dealing with here isn't measured very, very well. There is no metric system for what we're doing here. So more so what it's like is we're dealing with pain and we're dealing with energy. So basically what we're doing in recovery is what it is this dealing of pain and dealing of energy, your own, and to watch and see and gain insight into the fluctuation of both your pain and your energy. How does your energy fluctuate? How does your pain fluctuate? And how does that work? And how can you gain insight? Now, you can't use drugs. There's a major problem here because one thing you can't do in measuring in learning about your pain is you can't use drugs to get rid of it. And so you can't use really anything to get rid of it, and there's other things that have in this world that have come more like this now. I remember in the 80s or 90s, I remember somebody was just fat or they weren't. It was just like, that was just what it is. And if you were like eating right, it was because you were trying to lose weight. Fat people ate right because they were trying to lose weight. And that's what I remember. Maybe that wasn't how it was, but that's how I remember it. But now the way that we've turned weight loss is kind of the way we're turning all of this stuff into. And this is kind of this problem of finding truth and finding measurements in the world anymore and really not being able to. And so what we're left with, even in the weight loss world, there's so many different reasons people are eating healthy. People are eating healthy for political reasons. People are eating healthy for their own opinion of whether it hurts animals or not. People are eating healthy and because of weight loss. People are eating healthy for energy. People are eating healthy just to be superior to other people. So I go in and I go to a coach and they measure about 100 different statistics on how I'm doing. And some contradict each other and some don't. And some say, well, your stress level is higher than it was. And I say, well, yeah, I don't get to eat Oreos now, so I'm stressed and it's higher now. And there just keeps being more and more measurements to it, to the point where I don't even know why I eat healthy anymore or why I try. To the point where it becomes more so whether I eat healthy or not is no longer a measured thing. It's really just somebody's opinion. It's now become somebody's opinion, and you can't really find truth. If you try to find truth in the weight loss industry, you won't find it. One person will directly conflict another person who will directly conflict another person, and this just goes on and on with every expert, and that's about everything. And so as I'm struggling this week, and for me, it's been a tough week. I can tell you it's been one of the toughest weeks I've had in recovery, and I can't tell you why. I haven't had no major loss. I haven't had any trauma. I haven't had any things to deal with. It's just been a very, very painful week. And with that painful week, with what's going on, it's affected energy and pain. And one thing that happens for me is the reason I like pain and the reason I like a painful week is because I like recovery. One, I like not using drugs when it happens. I like that. I like the fact that I can get through anything without using drugs. Secondly, I also not using anything. For me, if anyone knows me, I'm a big gambler. But when I'm in pain, I don't gamble. I do not gamble when I'm in pain. I only gamble when I'm in a good mood. I only gamble when I'm happy. I only play cards to enjoy playing cards. I only watch sports to enjoy watching sports. I don't do these things to try to feel differently. I do the things when I enjoy to do the things. And I haven't done it this week. So I've been, since I've gotten back, I've been really looking into, and what I do when I'm in pain is I gain insight into who I am as a person. And so I gain, as pain comes, what it does is it grants me the opportunity to look at me and to look at what I am like as a person and to look at then why I'm going through this pain and what's happening. And that's makes you be able to give insight to other people. And as a teacher, and I can see right now, from the start of this thing, they said it, Bill W. said it in the big book, and he said it on page 64. He said, being convinced that self manifested in various ways was what defeated us, we considered its common manifestations. And so what that means to me is there's a diagnosis for our pain. What is causing our pain is us. It's causing us in the form of our interpretation of the world. It's causing this thing in our head to show up and give us certain thoughts. It's defending us. It's doing whatever it's doing. And so when you want to figure out why you're in pain, you have to then look deeper than to what it's saying, because the self will tell you why you're in pain, and it will tell you that it's something out there in the external world. It will say you're in pain because this person's doing this, or that person's doing this, or this is happening in your life, and it'll tell you that. But you can't believe that. what you have to do is you have to look deeper. And you have to see that it's not what it's telling you is the cause of your pain. It's how it's interpreting what's going on. And so the self is interpreting the world, and then it's telling you it's wrong. And now what I will say is, in this time in our world right now with no measurements, we as human beings constantly have it. And I will tell you what self is manifesting for me this week. It's the self of fairness. So what's happening to me and what's causing the pain is that this thing in my head is constantly telling me that I am being screwed. It's telling me that I'm being screwed by my government. It's telling me I'm being screwed by my clients. It's telling me I'm being screwed by the families. It's telling me I'm being screwed by my exes. It's telling me I'm being screwed constantly. And it's telling me that the world is not fair, and it's basing that upon my opinion. And so what's happening is, because I can't find truth in measurements, because I can't find any quantifiable truth, because I look out in the world and I can't find anything but people's opinion. I can't find any, even if it's something so simple as weight loss, all I can find is opinions. If it's something so simple as a mask or no mask, I can only find an opinion. If I want an opinion of which government form is best, all I can do is find that opinion. I cannot find any fact. I can look out at everything in the news. The simplest little story that's on the news is just now somebody's opinion. No fact. We've entered into a world where there is no more quantifiable measurements like a 22 and a half inch angled cut. And so I can see that the world for everyone right now is very frustrating due to this. But it's very frustrating because the thing in our head is constantly measuring justice. It's constantly measuring whether we're getting screwed or not. And it's on high alert. It's on high alert for everyone. One side is wrong. I am right. Masks, vaccines, Democrat, Republican, drugs, homeless, whatever that we're going into. There's no topic that has any truth to it. There's no more room for an apology. Nobody has to apologize anymore because nothing's true. I remember for certain that Dr. Fauci told me that no mask will work, but the N95. I remember this for 3 months. I remember from March, April, and May that no mask would work, and it was senseless for anyone to make their own mask. You needed to get an N95, and there wasn't enough of them, so we had to order them from other countries, and we had to have them shipped in, and you could not do anything unless you had an N95 mask. How do I know even what an N95 mask is? I didn't before last year. They told me. So now I have to wonder why these masks suddenly work. And I have to wonder why they didn't, without anybody apologizing to me and telling me they were wrong. With nobody going, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. They do work. Instead, just skipped over that. And now we have to just go on as if that didn't happen. And so I've looking into this. For me, I have to now adapt to this pain. I have to see what I can do. I have to see how I can live with me in this world rather than the world that there was before. I have to see how I can manage this, and what I've come across this week is this idea that when I'm in the most pain, it's because I have a feeling that I'm helping. And I have this feeling inside that I'm helping, and when it comes up, I'm helping. In fact, the feeling that comes up and causes the most pain in me is that I'm helping, and I'm helping more than other people. I'm doing more than everyone else, and why isn't everyone doing as much as me? And I am helping. Now, what kind of cures that? What kind of helps that for me is when I say that get out of that delusion, and I come to a different place where I decide I need help. As soon as I can come to a conclusion that I need help, that tonight I am not helping, I am not here helping you all, and that is somehow my obligation, that I have to come here and show everybody my presence and show how great I am and help this, and then this becomes some obligation for me, and you're welcome, and why isn't everyone paying me more to do this? And that kind of attitude starts developing. But if I come to the conclusion that this helps me, that I need help, and that actually what I'm doing here is I need help. And then as soon as I come to the conclusion that I need help, what happens is I become helpful. As soon as I say, I need help, I then become a helpful person. Because it's not really that I need that. And when I say helpful, it doesn't mean that I come help you put your shoes on. It doesn't mean that I buy you something. It doesn't mean anything other than what I'd like to do is I'd like to be helpful in my environment. I would like to help it. I would like to add more to it. I would like to bring this. I'd like to get rid of my own pain, and I'd like to include some of this good energy into this environment in any way that I can. And what happens is that gets me out of it. Really to see that, they were looking at some old battlefield videos today from the past. And it reminded me again of how it's helped me become, and that's stupid. It might be cliche or it might sound stupid, but the truth is I didn't help it. It helped me. And I was talking to the guys about going to work and everyone going to work today. If you went to work today and you believe that you help your company and that you're valuable, and I would say that that's the cause of your pain. And I think that if you could just look and say, and here's how you determine if you're helping your company and you really think that you're valuable. One time my boss brought me outside. I worked for the McDonald's bun plant. I worked for them and they had been going a long time. They made buns for McDonald's, but they'd been going a long time before me. And then I came in and I started working for the bun plant. I worked there about a year and we packaged all the buns for McDonald's for 5 states. And I started getting it fixed in my head that I was very helpful and that I wasn't, getting enough. And I went to work and I was whining to my boss, and great man, this boss, he brought me outside on the dock and he grabbed a bucket and he filled it with water, and he filled the bucket with water completely to the brim. And then he put his arm in it. And as he put his arm in it, just, his arm's just in the bucket. And then he pulled his arm out of the bucket and he goes, "You see that? Replaceable." That's all he said to me. And he walked away. He goes, "You are like the arm. You changed nothing when you went in. Nothing happened when you came out. The water is still the same. You're replaceable." And what it reminded me of is like, for us going to work, if you think that you're helpful, you're going to get the attitude that has no gratitude to it. You're going to come in and think that it owes you something. But if you go and you say, "Wait, I need help. This job helps me. This job helps feed my family. This job helps me pay my rent. This job helps me. And I am now going to go in here." Well, as soon as you went in with that and said that I need this, you would then become a helpful person. And it doesn't mean that you're not valuable. It doesn't mean that. It means that you're not valuable at the moment you say you're valuable. At the moment that you think you're valuable, you lose all value. Richard Sherman was a great Seattle Seahawk until he thought he was the best. At the moment Richard Sherman told us all that he was the best Seattle Seahawk there ever was, replaceable. We got rid of him. He's now having major struggles because Richard Sherman thinks he's delusional. He thinks that people need him more than he needs it. Now, if he would have went to work and said, somebody like Jerry Rice goes to work and says, "I'm here to help. I'm going to add to this." And so I really started getting it figured out this week that I started the self, the way it was manifesting was it manifested to me in fairness. And it started really telling me that I was being gypped. Everyone was gypping me. I was doing all this stuff for everyone else. And who's here for art? Why is nobody here to take care of me? When's my help coming? And then it dawned on me that this is how I get help. This is how I get help. This helps me. And the families help me. And, when I help somebody else, it helps me. And that reminder then is the way I can deal with the world in its current state. What energy am I providing? How do I watch this thing that you're all here for? What you're here to learn about is how to, what we're really doing here. What we're all doing on here is learning about pain and learning about how we coped with pain. And now learning about how to cope with pain without drugs, how to cope with pain without overeating, how to cope with pain without gambling, how to cope with pain without, running, without working, without being a workaholic, how to cope with pain, how to sit and gain insight into your own energy, gain insight into who you are as an experience, not a person, but who you are as an experience, and how this energy fluctuates in and out of you. And how, it might be somebody out there saying something, but then Why does that fluctuate your energy? And let's look deeper. And yeah, that person might seem to be difficult. Yes, but why are they so difficult for you and not everybody else? And why are you spending so much time convincing everybody that they're difficult? Why are you spending so much time trying to prove your case that they're wrong and you're right? And you really what it boils down to is this idea that you start, imagine a relationship, two people that are a couple. One of them gets it figured out that they're doing more than the other one. And there's the problem. There's the delusion. There it is. Now, going back to the job thing, as I left McDonald's bun plant, God, McDonald's has really prospered since my departure, which is shocking. I thought, no way they were going to make it without me. Same thing when I got fired from the beef jerky plant. I was working at Oberto. They sure went downhill ever since I left too. But I had it figured out that I was helping them. I had it figured out that imagine that delusion. I am helping McDonald's. That utter delusion. These guys all work for Mr. Chris Bartoy. We're doing a commercial. He's a great contractor. He's been doing it for 20 to 30 to 40 years. He's been working. And I would say be very careful to the guys that live here in my program, because they might get it in their head that they actually think they're helping Chris. And there's an easy way to determine whether you're helping him or he's helping you. You just stop doing it and see whose life changes. You just see whose life changes. And then you go, oh, shit, his changed nothing. So maybe I wasn't helping him. Maybe he was helping me. And now I'm not saying that we aren't valuable as people. I'm saying we lose our value as soon as we think we're valuable. We give it up. As soon as we begin to think we're valuable, we start getting resentful. We start getting obliged. We start get it figured out that we are something. A lot of people have come into my program. Kids have come here for help. They've come to this program. They've come here for help, and they actually get it figured out in their head that they think they're helping me because their parents are giving me money or something. Their parent thinks they think I'm having a windfall because of their presence. And all of a sudden my life's going to change. But thousands of kids have come into my life since I've been doing this. Thousands. And my life hasn't changed due to any of them. That's not how it should be. It shouldn't be that way. It should be that my life stays the same, or I couldn't be helping you. But the evidence that I'm helping and that yes, I change. Yes, life changes. Yes, each person that comes here is valuable, but only at the level that they think they need help. But at the moment they don't think they need help and they think they're helping me, there is no longer any value in this relationship. You see? And so really, that is the source of all of this. The source of our pain comes from the fact that, one, we forget that we all need help. We forget that. We forget we need help from our wife. We forget we need help from our job. We forget we need help from our partner. We forget that we need help, and we think we're helping. And at that moment that we think we're helping, then fairness comes in. We forget that we need help from our government. We forget that we need help from our police. We forget we need help from everyone. We need help. And if we can stay in that mind frame and we can understand it, all of a sudden there's a chance for the self to go away. When you're helping, there's no self. When you're being helpful, there's no self. There's no voice in your head saying, look at me. There's no voice in your head saying, I'm getting screwed. There's no voice in your head saying, I'm getting gypped. There's a voice in your head just gone. And you're just doing what you're doing. Maybe you're cooking a dinner. Maybe you're sweeping the floor. And I'm not talking about helping people and becoming a hero. What I'm talking about is providing positive energy into the environment. I'm talking about mowing the lawn. I'm talking about weeding the garden. I'm talking about sweeping the floor. I'm talking about washing the car. I'm talking about doing normal things that we do, but as we're doing them and thinking we're helping, we start feeling gypped. A mother doing dishes when really they could say a father doing dishes or a mother doing dishes, when actually they might love to do dishes. But because when they're doing those dishes, they feel like they're helping and everybody isn't helping enough, they're miserable doing the dishes. When actually, if they just looked closer, they could just enjoy doing the dishes and become a positive member of the environment. And for me, that's the insight that has come from this week. Is most of my pain, the origin this week, is that I don't need help and everybody else does. And now I'm providing that help. And why am I not getting enough for the help that I'm providing? And why is everybody not recognizing me and bringing my award? But rather complaining but then I got to figure out that, wait, maybe I need help, and maybe this can't go away because I need it to help me. I need it to challenge me. I need it to be here. I need this like you need this. I need this room like you need this room. I don't have an obligation, and I'm not tired of doing groups because actually I need this. You know, it's not some cliche way. It's the fucking truth. It's just the fucking truth. I need this. I need this because it makes me look at myself. And then it makes me gain insight. And then it makes me share that. And we get down to what we're really doing here. And what we're doing here is we're dealing with pain and energy. And guess what? You can't use drugs. So don't use drugs. And then let's learn to deal with our pain and energy together. Let's not dump it on each other. Let's not talk shit. Let's try. Let's actually fucking be here. And then let's try to put some positivity into the environment. And actually your words may not be it. They might not add value, but definitely sweeping the floor does. It does. Making your bed does add value to the environment. It makes people walk by your room and feel better. Mowing the lawn, weeding, sweeping the deck, cleaning the bathroom, doing the dishes. These are all ways of helping. And if you can really see that you need help, you will become a helpful person. That's the next step. See, when you say I need help, you can't define what that is. If you just say I need help, you won't be able to define what it is that you need. Unless somebody goes, well, I need help and I need money. Or I need help and I need this person that's an asshole to be out of my life. But screw those. You're always going to need help that way. But what about I need help and it's not money and it's not getting this person out of my life? Then what do you need? I want you to notice that you just went fucking blank, that you don't know what you need. And I say what you need is to get rid of the voice in your head that thinks everything's got to be fair. What you need is to actually just get that out of your head and actually provide positive energy and be helpful. And that would be the solution. Then, as soon as you get it figured out, there's no more self manifesting as a fairness judge, sitting in your head telling you that you got gypped in your childhood, and you got gypped by your mommy, and you got gypped that your parent died, and you got gypped, and you get gypped, and grow up. Because here we sit. What are you going to do now? Cool, all that happened. Good for you. Trauma. Good. You got a monopoly on trauma. None of us have had it. Just not true. We all have it. We've all been through it. Each one of us is going to get our fair share. If we haven't had it already, we're going to get it coming up. Nobody's going to get a bigger dose. It's life. So this is the process. 1, figure out that you don't know how to deal with your pain. 2, look at the self manifesting in various ways. And when I say self, I mean a voice in your head that is a champion for you, that is telling you that you're not the problem, that is sitting there saying something else is the problem. Disagree with that voice. The voice that's telling you that something external out there in the world is the problem. Please disagree with it, because there's no way out of that. That's what they meant by being convinced. Being convinced that the voice in my head is actually the problem. I listen to the voice in my head and see what it's up to. That's what it says. And it says being convinced because you need to remind yourself of it over and over and over again, because the voice in your head is very convincing. It's very convincing that your car not being big enough is the problem, that your wife not losing enough weight is the problem, that your wife not cooking good enough is the problem, that your boss not treating you right is the problem, that your kid being an addict is the problem. It's very convincing. Your house not being big enough, so sell it. You not having a dog. You know how many people were convinced during COVID that not having a dog was the source of their problem? That's why you can't get into a vet now. Because every person, their voice in their head told them delusionally that they would feel better when they got a pet. So people exploded and bought pets because they weren't feeling good enough. Pain, self-manifesting in various ways, them listening to the voice and doing exactly what it says to relieve the pain rather than disagreeing with the voice, rather than going, that is stupid. A dog is not going to make me feel better. In fact, it might make me feel worse because I'll have to stay home with my dog. Dogs, cars, tattoos. So it says being convinced because it's saying you have to keep being convinced. You will forget. I will forget, and I will spend a week thinking the source of my pain is the kids in my program not waking up early enough. That the source of my pain is something that happened last year. That is insanity. Wanting something that happened last year to have gone differently so that I don't suffer today. If that ain't insane, I don't know what is. And I'm insane unless I look through the voice. That voice in my head telling me that I don't need this, that I'm some God's gift to everyone and they need me and they should, the premium on artists went up. God, they're lucky to have me around. Jeez. Oh, I need this. I needed this tonight. I needed to clear this. I needed to speak. I needed to be helpful. I needed to provide good energy into this room and this group. And that's what I needed so that I could sleep tonight. And I didn't use drugs. And I haven't in 11 years. And I don't do that to get rid of my pain. And I do very little to get rid of my pain other than talk and sit. And a few old-fashioned donuts in the middle of the night. I don't even know if that does it. It might cause more pain. I don't know. Yeah. It don't does it. It don't do it. Anyways, so I think that it's a quick path, it's a quick path to one, realizing that you're in pain, to seeing the accumulation of pain that's in our current state of the world. I mean, there is a constant, if you don't feel in this day and age that there is a lack of measurement, that we are measuring things on opinion, and that we no longer have a metric system for how we're doing as a country, how we're doing as a community, and nobody even agrees enough on what's right and what's wrong in order to find an apology anywhere. And that's why I really enjoyed what Travis told me about the satisfaction of the work that he did today, because I think it's really, really cool that if somebody screwed up and cut a board wrong, that they would have to just apologize, and it would be a known fact that they screwed up and cut that board wrong. Because I don't see anyone apologizing. I don't see any politician apologizing. I don't see any newscaster apologizing. I don't see anyone actually saying, hey, I got it wrong. And so how can nobody be getting it wrong and everybody be right? And we're supposed to, as a society, just accept that. Everyone's right. Wow. And everyone's right, and they all are doing it from their opinion. Because there is no fact and science doesn't exist anymore. They just say, what do they say, Travis? What's science? New science. They just say the new science. Yeah. So it's just the new science now, the new science. And here we are. And so if you don't live right now in this day and age, a lot different than it was in the 80s, I'm telling you. In the 80s, we kind of knew what some things were right and wrong, and there was room for apologies, and people apologized, and maybe I'm interpreting wrong, but I seem to remember it that way. And I seem to even remember as recently as George Bush, who I wasn't a big Republican fan, but I still remember him owning up to things. And I still remember him being a leader of the Democrats too. And I still remember 9/11. And I still remember a time where even Democrats loved George Bush due to 9/11 in our country. And we stuck by him. And I remember all that. And I just think that this now I'm not saying that to get political. I'm saying that I don't want a political discussion. I want to talk about it in the way that our voices in our head would now interpret the world, and has to interpret the world, and has to deal with that. And the way to deal with it is that we're not going to change. That's just the way it is. And everyone's dealing with it from their opinion. I'm not telling you I want to hear your opinion on it. I'm not saying I have an opinion on it. I'm just saying this is pain. This is causing pain. And now I have to look through the voice and I have to see how I deal with this voice in my head, not how I deal with what's going on out there. I have to see how do I meditate more? Do I sit more? Do I breathe more? Do I practice this more? How do I not pay attention to that and get caught up in that? Unless I'm going to go full on crazy and run for governor, then I would just be part of the insane, so you got to deal with it. And what we deal with here on this thing is we deal with pain and we deal with energy. So
we learn to sit with ourselves.
Yeah, we learn to sit with it. And I feel if there's something I'm an expert on, it's that. If there's something I know about, and I'm not just saying, I do know how to eat pain. I do know how to sit with it. And I do know how to look through the voice in my head. And I do know how to provide good energy into a room. And I do know how to provide bad energy into a room. I can do both. So
not only sit with it, but sit with it, like you said, without using
anything. Without using anything. That's right.
Video games, cell phone, without just to be able to sit with yourself and.
Yeah. Can you enjoy TikTok, not use TikTok? Can you enjoy a video game, not use video games?
Yeah.
Can you, when I'm in pain, you won't see me doing any of those things. And you guys have all watched me go through pain. And that's one thing that, I'm trying to teach. If I'm teaching anything, I'm teaching people how to be pain processors. How do you turn pain into acceptance? How do you accept the way it is? This is the way it is. We're not gonna go out there and, it's gonna be, and even if we wanted to change the current state of the world, it would take us accepting the way it is first. The problem with people trying to change the world right now is they don't accept how it is. And they're trying to change it from their opinion and their anger. And you can't change this from anger. The person who leads us in change won't be coming from a place of anger. They won't be coming from a place of opinion. They'll be coming from a place of inclusion. They'll be coming from a place of making it better, providing positive energy into room, even when people are being negative. That's a leader.
They're thinking that they're being helpful.
Yeah, but people right now with their anger and their opinions are thinking they're helping. It's not. Just because you can get angry and tell everyone you don't like how it is. It's very easy to sit as a human being and talk about what's not right about how it is. But it's very difficult to do something about it. It's hard. Okay, Ange. I hope we can get some comments from people tonight and questions. I'd like to be helpful if anyone needs any help. No, I would like to provide some help if somebody's struggling and they need help. I can provide some of that, and that'll make me feel better.
All right, so let's open it up. I too hope that there's lots of good conversation. This is a great topic, and I can tell that everybody can feel your heart tonight, Art, and just a beautiful message. So let's open it up. Anybody who has comments, questions, you can just use the raise your hand feature on your device. I'll raise my hand right now. You can kind of see. If you can't figure out the raise your hand feature on your device, no worries. You can just unmute yourself and I'll see that you're unmuted. And I will take that as you're in line. And then heads up for Travis, he'll want to check his messages. We do have a dedication to do tonight. Whenever it's appropriate to do that, we can do it. We can do it at the end, or if there's a lull, we can do it then. But we do have a dedication from a mom to her son, so we will take the time to do that tonight. So we'll just know when the time's right to do that when it happens. But who's out there that have some questions? All right, Donna, let's get you unmuted. Let's see, can we get, yeah, there you go. Hey, Donna.
Hey, I just wanted to first and foremost say that what you just said was absolutely crystal clear and probably the most beautiful thing. And it just resonated in my soul today. And I thank you for that because I needed that. And I just was like really feeling what you just talked about, like everybody in my life is a hassle and I'm the only one working here. And I need help. I need help. And what you just said is spot on. like beautiful, like amazing, like such an aha moment. And I thank you for that. And I just wanted to come on here and say that thank you for getting me back in my lane.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was really out of my lane for the last couple of months, and you just gently nudged me back into my lane. Thank you.
Well, the reason I was able to touch you back in your lane was I was out of my lane for a while now too. So yeah. I had to travel outside of my lane to learn what was going on. And I've been feeling very, very resentful lately and not being able to get my footing. And this is kind of the way out. As I see it.
Amen. I just am like spot on. Really. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. And everything that Donna just said, I can just tell there is just something about the energy of the screens. You can feel when you have my viewpoint that I have, and I have everybody up on the big TV here in my house, and I see all the different screens. There is an energy that can be felt through this. And I can tell there are a lot of people that's what Donna just said. It was their words. I can just feel, I can see it. So anybody else is welcome to say so as well, even though she already spoke your words, but you can raise your hand. So Yvette's next in line. Let's see you unmuted. Hey, Yvette.
Hi, guys. One thing that I try to tell myself quite often, and it goes right along in line, Art, with what you said, is that I often have to remind myself that I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's not an easy thing to do, right? To try and just be okay with the fact that things are uncomfortable or that things are not okay in the moment. That's not an easy thing. I'm a fixer. I'm a pleaser. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be doing good. I want everybody to like me. I want all this perception. And a lot of times I've got to, and I say it all the time to myself, that I've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I think that's, and that's what we're all having to deal with right now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of discomfort. There's discomfort everywhere you go.
Yeah.
There's discomfort with the vaccine, with the masks, with our family members, with our jobs, with business, and learning to sit with it.
Yeah.
It's tough. And my recommendation tonight is that little process of saying I need help and then becoming a helpful person. And if you can stay there, for sure it's an answer. Now the difficulty is just staying there. The difficulty is where you hit that voice in your head that tells you you're doing too much. You're being taken advantage of. You're getting screwed. And that voice comes up and causes the pain.
Well, and it's being helpful for the right reasons too. It's it's being helpful because that's what you want to do to help a situation, not necessarily for the kudos or the hurrahs or the.
That's why I say it's more important that we say, when we say helpful, what we mean is a positive reaction to the environment, a positive, inducing positive energy into the environment, rather than I'm doing something for another person. Like I ain't saying the answer to this is get somebody's plate off the table and wash it for them. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that doing for others what they should be doing for themselves is the answer here. I'm saying sweeping the floor with a good attitude definitely is.
Right.
So
by the way, if you ever doubt yourself, call me. I'll put you back in perspective, because you're an amazing man helping a lot of amazing people. And a lot of us parents, we couldn't do it without you.
Thank you.
So
Thank
you got it.
Thanks, Yvette. All right. Who's next?
Make Carrie. Is she Carrie here or
Carrie's
Steve
here, the Stempalias, the Penningtons, the Kale Maddoxes, the Davises. Come on, Davises. Both of you are here tonight. Let's get you up here. Come on now. They're always quiet.
I think I want to add how important this is for a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, You know, that is the struggle in families and relationships, the division of labor. The number one fighting of couples and families is the division of labor. You know, each person thinking that they do more than the other person. I provide more to this relationship than you do. And there's the struggle right there. It's not that I need help, it's that I'm helping you. And that's the problem. So it works for everything what we're talking about here tonight.
Sorry,
You know,
Pam.
for sure.
Go ahead and unmute yourself again, Pam. I clicked it right at the wrong time.
It's okay.
There we go. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I always do that to you guys.
Yeah, we're starting to figure it out.
It's like you guys are so quick and you're pros at unmute yourself instead of me asking it. It's always at the right second. So you unmute, and then me asking to unmute makes me mute you. So it's like this weird thing every time with you guys.
That's kind of
Hi,
the
guys.
story of my life. Anyway, so it's only Tuesday, and I'm already confused this week. So, Art, you're talking about a scenario of what you get from things or what you give to things, and I go back to the first job I had in high school in the shop, and I gave a ton to that shop. And I received all kinds of recognition and acknowledgement and that from the shop. And to me, it seems like it's a two-way street. It's not just what you get from, it's both. It's what you give. It's like with Battlefield. It's not just what we get from Battlefield that's important. It's what you give to Battlefield that's so important too.
Yeah. Well, I want to be clear because I think that I just want to. I want to say that there is pain. Okay, that whether people have come to Battlefield and left Battlefield, and I would say that the people that maybe left Battlefield, maybe they somehow got it figured out that they gave more than they got. And at that level, they convinced themselves that Battlefield would not make it without their appearance or whatever it is. But what I'm talking about is just that simple thing that whether I'm going to be happy or not. And I'm happy and not in pain when I'm being helpful. And that's just true. And it's that moment where I think that I'm not getting enough, where my unhappiness comes and where my pain comes in. And yeah, where I'm getting the short of the stick, or I'm getting gypped. And so even right now, I don't know if when people tell me that I'm doing good and say good things, not that I don't want that, but I'm saying that doesn't do it. Like if I'm in pain, that wouldn't relieve my pain. It won't. Like I could be in pain tonight and sit here and everyone could come on and go, Art, you've helped me so much. You're so great. And then that might not do it. I might be miserable while they're telling me how great I am, or they're giving me accolades. But what will for sure relieve my pain is that moment that I just become helpful. And as I'm helping, there is no pain.
Understood.
You see, so that moment where you were giving to your job, whether they gave you the accolades or not, that made you extremely valuable to the community. It made you extremely valuable to them. And the accolades, whether they come or not, but what was true was you were never in pain while you were giving to that job. While you were giving to that job, you were happy. And if you ever did get in pain, it would have been because you thought you gave too much. The moment that you thought you gave too much, the voice in your head would tell you that you were too important and you would lose value. And that's just that moment that I'm talking about. That very real struggle that we actually go with the person we love, and we're in a relationship with the person we love, and we actually say to ourselves, I'm doing too much. Can you imagine that? We say, I love you, honey. I want to marry you for the rest. I want to be with you for the rest of your life. But then there's a voice in our head that says, you've done too much laundry. You've done too much cleaning. You've made too much money. You've made her get her nails done too many times. You've paid for too many vacations. And that voice is the source of the pain. It's not it's not the doing.
And you've talked before about opinions and how detrimental opinions can be, and everybody's got them. And I think I see a linkage there.
That's right. That's right. We're dealing in the unmeasurable. So if your opinion is that you've given too much, how did you measure that? If your opinion is that you see, it's just your opinion. Never do I see a husband and wife, and the wife goes, I give too much, and then the husband agrees.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
It's not that like they look up on a chart and go, yeah, well, let's check the chart. Yep, last week you gave too much. There is no ruler. There's no tape measure. There's no way to measure it. We're dealing with the unmeasurable. We're dealing in a world of opinion, and then we're taking those opinions to be true. And we're dealing with the world of perception. And but what we need to be dealing with in that world is just simple. The voice in our head, the energy, and the pain we're having. And then as we're in this state of non-acceptance, this state of resistance, this state where the voice in our head is telling us we're getting screwed, you look through the voice, you look through it, and you see what's actually going on with you. And there it is. Being convinced that self manifested in various ways is what defeated us. We consider what it's done here. And what it's doing is it's each one of us have our own fairness meter in our heads. Each one of us have our own opinion meters in our heads. Now, if we could get rid of those, the world would be a better place. So now we can conclude that those fairness meters are actually the problem, not the solution that we think they are. You see, so we think these fairness meters are actually the solution. We think that's what's saving us. But it's actually what's killing us. Because it's what's stopping us from getting the help, from being the helpful person that we need. You know, like I love to take Angie's bags down to the car for her. If we're traveling or if she comes over or whatever, I love to get, except when she asks me to. The moment she asks me to, I go, Jesus, again, what's next? What's next? She's gonna ask me to start doing something else. It never ends with this lady. You know?
Why did she have to ask?
I don't want to ask. That's what I was just gonna say, Carrie. I don't want to ask.
No.
Resentment when I have to.
Yeah.
I remember all the years growing up with.
I guess I'll put it back.
There's your guys' fairness meter. Why don't you guys look through the voice that just told you to say that stupid shit? Yeah, you guys, Jesus. Now all ladies are going to come on here and their husband doesn't do something for them, and they're just going to sit there and go and suffer because they think it should have been different than it is. Well, I can't help you.
We got lots of people lining up in line now.
All right.
Okay, so we got Carrie Burrows and then Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Sam Palias.
Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, okay. Well, I got lots of notes, Art.
Yes.
Earlier when you were talking about Richard Sherman and where he pretty much thought he was all that in a bag of chips, and then he became the bag of chips.
Yes.
Humility to me is where he lost it and where a lot of people lose it.
That's right. That's right.
Humble pie is actually probably pretty tasty if people eat it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that thing. I need help. Just that word. I need help. So, it seems to be the hardest thing for people to just say. I need help on a daily basis, and I'm not talking about borrowing money, and I'm not talking about this. I just need help, and that doesn't mean I need you to do something for me. It just means I need you. Mm-hmm. I need your energy like I need air.
Yeah.
I need good air, and that's it. And it doesn't mean I need change. When I say I need help, it just, for me, if it's I need help, and then it's not asking anyone to change, then it seems to me that we go right to the conclusion of, okay, I'm going to become a helpful person. and I like it when it pertains to the job. If you go, because that's a good analogy, because if you're going to work and you're saying, I need help, what you're meaning is, I need this job. I need this, just like I need this relationship, or I need this job, or I whatever it is. And at the moment that you say, I need this relationship, you will become helpful to the relationship. Mm-hmm. But the moment you think that it needs you more than you need it, there's the humility gone.
Yeah.
You're right.
On the positive energy thing, so this has been really good because I use this with both my parents. They're zappers, and require a lot of attention, but don't respond to the attention that they're getting. So then you just have to like do more. And so they're zappers. But so I'm kind of processing that with them. But I do want to say that, we had we were, as a family, we were all back in Montana last week, and it was great. And you want to talk about positive energy from, our family, and then Kyle there. It was so awesome. We were a group of people that were all, the nucleus of the four of us, really, with Matt and Allie. We were a nucleus around those two, getting them married. And it was so awesome having that positive energy from the whole family, Matt and Allie.
I want to point out about Kyle too. And the remarkable thing about Kyle Burrows, your son, and it really is remarkable. And I don't say this lightly. I mean, you can't always tell that Kyle's here. It's remarkable. He has this great way of you not being able to know he's here. But what I will tell you is you can emphatically know when he's not here, which is remarkable. You can absolutely feel a vacuum when he's gone, but he's not flashy with it when he's here. Mm-hmm. And it's really a remarkable way of being, that we all miss him when he's gone, but take him for granted while he's here. And it's cool. It's an example of you don't have to set the world on fire. You just have to be calm and nice. And that energy is so relaxing. It's so good.
And that's really what kind of his karma was there. He was, the photographer, getting his brother where his brother needed to be. And it was just nice having the family circle working like that. So thank you.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Really.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to keep trying to apply this to how I parent my parents too.
Well, you know what? Like I would say with that, just, I'll tell you what, when my mother was alive and my father was alive, I was with them at the last years of their lives. And I was so obliged, and they needed me. And I didn't really get through this pain process and learn about myself enough to do it right. And I didn't have a teacher. And so I spent my time feeling kind of resentful when I had to go spend. And me and my sisters kind of argued over who would spend more time there. And we counted the hours and the days at which I spent compared to which they spent. And we argued petty over it. And, I didn't have the attitude that I needed that. And now I need that. And you won't feel like you need it now, but later in your life when they're gone, when you look back at what you did, you're going to need that memory of what you did. Mm-hmm. So if you need like some ammo about needing it, because you won't feel like you need it when they're not responding, they're not saying thank you, they're not doing anything, and you're just drained. But 5 years from now, when you see somebody else going through it and you realize that you did it right, that you somehow powered through and kept up the good energy and kept providing it, even though there was no reciprocation, you're gonna need that. And I wish, I tell Angela when her mom was dying, I said, I wished all the time that I would have been just more patient with my mother. I wish I would have been more patient. I wish I would have been more soothing. I wish I would have spent more time and given up everything that I was doing in my life for that, mm-hmm. for both my mother and father.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need it, you know.
Yeah.
I tell anyone that their parents are dying, just go do that. You know, you never forgive yourself if you don't.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm so grateful that that's exactly what I was able to do. You know, Art said to me early on when my mom was diagnosed in January, he said early on to just give her a bath and just do those kinds of things. And on that last visit, I was able to rub lotion on her and wash her body with a washcloth and do those things. And I don't know if those thoughts would have occurred to me. You have so many emotions going on. It's like those things that you think after the fact, oh, I should have done this. But when you're in the middle of such confusion, I don't know if I would have thought to do that. And it was actually Sherry. Sherry had given me a couple bottles of essential oils. And at the last minute on my way to the airport, I threw those in my bag. And on my last waking moments that I had with Mom, I actually put that on her. So it was really beautiful. So yeah, what a gift. I'm here. It's just what Art's talking about tonight. I'm here because I need to be here.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's at times when we know that we have other people in our lives that are going to be the positive energy for us when we need that. So that's when we have to.
We hope.
Well, I think if through the years, if you're kind of, you know, being that positive energy as time goes, you'll collect those people and you'll have those.
Yeah,
people.
you will. You will.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Sherry. All right, we have Sherry and then Janine Faulkner. Okay, Sherry. There we go. Sherry, let me double check. Janine, did you mean to unmute yourself and be in line?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. That's why I requested the video because you were unmuted. I thought, okay, no problem. But good to see your face. Hi, that's Cam's mom.
I'm out in my garden and I haven't cleaned up from gardening, so I want to be on screen.
Okay.
Next time, maybe.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Sherry.
So I will say, I will admit that I married well because my husband's not on this call right now. So I'll just say that right now for everybody. But it seems like it's like a little battle between ego and humility, right? And I think I agree with what Carrie was saying is that you kind of have that moment of humility of okay, wait, I got to check myself, right? And that's where you kind of have that, it's like that balance of ego and humility that you kind of have to think about, okay, am I thinking about I or am I thinking about others? And, you know, and some of the, you know, like you guys were saying, some of the greatest moments you have is when you're giving to other people and seeing other people and sharing your gifts with other people and things like that. So, I think I'm kind of following on to what Carrie was saying is that it's that humility moment. And it does apply to, you know, like personal and work stuff too. So I think that's my only thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry. Oops. All right.
I've noticed.
Hannah's has a question.
Well, yeah, kind of. One thing I've noticed is that like across the board, as I look back on my life, you know, those times where I fought for like the ego side of it and like what I felt like I deserved, or even maybe masked it with like I'm advocating for myself. Like I never really remember or value those times in my life. And like, you know, along with all of this, the times that I value are when I was giving the most and receiving the least. And so it's like this, you know, I was just thinking, and it doesn't matter what aspect it's in, whether it's family or at work or giving to like another person or whatever it is. In fact, I usually regret the times where I was, you know, fighting to get what I deserved or whatever, instead of just like giving, and I really received the most from what I gave.
Yeah, like what if
we get the justice that we're fighting for ourselves?
Yeah.
I mean, what if we actually got all that justice?
Can you turn off that other mic? Thanks. Okay.
Like, well, that's just, I mean, she said it beautiful. She said the times that she's like fighting for the fairness for herself. Well, it's also the times that you're suffering from the most misery. And you know, it's those times. And this actual thing, this convincing ourselves that if we get that justice, there's going to be happiness at the other side of it. But in fact, there's not usually happiness. There's like dissatisfaction.
There's just more justice to find.
Yeah, there's more justice to find, and there's dissatisfaction in it. There's like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Now that I even got it, now that they're giving it to me, I didn't even want what I thought I wanted. You know, I love in that movie, The Breakup, with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. And she goes, she wants him to do the dishes after the dinner party. And then so she's asking him to do the dishes. So finally he gets up and he comes to do the dishes with her, but he's angry, you know? And then she goes, well, I don't want you to do the dishes like that. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I'm doing the dishes. And she goes, no, I wanted you to want to do the dishes. And he goes, why would I want to do dishes? It's, you know, like, but it is, you know, and that's it. Like, she got the justice she wanted, but it's not satisfactory. You know, she didn't even really want him to do the dishes. She just wanted him to want to do the dishes. Well, nobody, you know, and it's a great, you know, little moment in the movie, but it's true. It's like, you know, most people that say they want what they want, whether it's a wife saying, I want you to do your own laundry, they don't really want that. Whether it's a husband saying, I want you to help in the yard or park your car the right way or fill your own car with gas. In fact, none of those things is what you really want. You know, husbands love filling the car with gas for the wife or vice versa. It doesn't matter, but you just kind of see it's not really what we want. It's just this bullshit voice in our head that seems to think we're getting gypped. And then it just comes up with shit. You know, it just comes up with bullshit about why we're getting gypped. I wonder. So I just live in this like painful world of, you know, and then I see it like, oh shit, I'm just living in this painful world of I'm getting gypped. It's a painful, small little world. Yeah. And I measure everything and fucking, you know, document everything in my head. You know, I tell these guys, don't take a shower. My big thing is don't take a shower Tuesday after 6 p.m. so I can take a shower before Solution Group. There's always someone in the shower. It's like a big angry thing. Who's in the shower now?
Can't believe it.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of funny.
It is good.
Comical, you know. By no other night during the week will you ever find anyone showering. Not ever. Not ever. In fact, I found that these guys take very few showers on a whole. I mean, yeah, you know, we could have like 21 people living in this house at a time, and there's like one shower a day. Mine. Like, yeah, it's always open. But somebody's always going number 2, though.
Yeah.
This house always going number 2. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Can I go in the shower?
Yeah.
Somebody has.
Yeah. Yes.
Katie perks up on the subject.
Yes. Let's get another question.
Okay, yeah, let's take 3 to 5 more minutes on anybody that wants to share, and then we'll spend the last 5 minutes on our dedication. So anybody else out there? Yes, Allison. Yes, awesome. Let's get you unmuted.
Yeah, I did totally off topic. Just wanted to know where Carrie burrows. What is that scenery outside her windows?
Oh yes, yes, out in Lake Chelan, right, Carrie?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lake Chelan. I was admiring that as well.
I was like, oh, where is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love it. Awesome. Allison, you should join us on Mom's Group on Wednesdays.
I work on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Work for Foundation at Eden Hall, so.
I didn't even see that.
What'd you say, Art?
I said she should quit her job.
Yeah, you should quit your job to join us at Mom's Group.
No, I can't do that.
Thanks, Allison. Good to see you. All right, we got time for one more. Who's got a thought, something to share?
I just think that everyone's so chicken. I mean, there is some real chickens on here.
I really wanted to hear from the Davises. I see both Josh and Melinda. Come on, guys. Say hi. At least say hi. So good to see you guys together. I know Josh works a lot, so I don't always get to see him. Hey, guys. Yes.
Hello.
And I saw Troy in the background.
Yeah, he went upstairs.
He went back
was
upstairs.
down there.
Okay. How you guys doing up there?
Good.
Good.
So Troy stayed for the talk.
Yeah, no. Part of it.
Part of it. Part of it. Yeah. Part of it.
Yeah. No, we're just same old here.
Working.
Troy's trying to work.
Troy's trying to get a job, but that's you'd think that they'd be hiring anybody right now, but they're not.
Well, Josh, I do want to give a big shout out. Thank you for your contributions. You guys, the Davises have been a monthly partner for years with Battlefield, and their contributions are matched by his company. And so this is just an opportunity just to throw it out there for you guys. Those of you who have donated to Battlefield, are monthly partners to Battlefield, check with your company. If your company has a match program, we qualify because Battlefield Addiction is a nonprofit organization. And so it just takes you just looking into it and then reporting it and finding out through your human resource department how you report what you've given. And so I just, it's amounted to a big amount. And so thank you, Davises, for being such a support for so many years. I mean, shoot, the Davises originally came to us, I think it was 2015. So they've been around.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And they've been $100 monthly partners like forever. So that's matched every month. So it's a huge difference. So thanks, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Guys.
Thank you for all that you do for us. I mean, you've done a lot for us in our few years we've been here. So we appreciate that, Art. And everything hits home when you talk. Everything hits home. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Yeah, we hope.
We hope. Yeah, right?
We hope.
We were really looking forward to last week maybe coming into live, but then it wasn't. So
Even like a 2-hour drive, I don't even care.
Yeah, it's kind of put us in, I think, a little bit of a funk, kind of depressing. Here we were so excited about opening up, and then, so I think it's kind of got us feeling a little yuck.
Well, we'll be there. Zoom. At least with Zoom, it's not the greatest, but
at least we're all here.
Yeah, I know myself. Like, I probably would have retreated and went to like total introvert without having this every week. So it still works even from a distance.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, one last one before our dedication. Riley, let's get you unmuted. Hey, Riley, now we can see his face. We couldn't see you earlier with your song.
Yeah, sorry about that. My son was going crazy.
Yeah.
You guessed it.
That's what I thought.
I just wanted to say thanks to Art for the message. That's same thing like in the beginning when I think it was the first lady that shared said, like, I was just off my lane. Same thing with work, relationships, and it all comes back to that, like, resentments, if you're not getting your way and you're feeling like you're worth more than everybody, it's just like constant pain. So, and then also, is that Troy Davis from Arlington?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, is it? Wow, that's crazy. I went to high school with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. Okay, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It was Trish, yeah. So I said wave.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to go right into the dedication?
Yeah, let's close it up and then we'll do the dedication.
Okay.
I just want to say, thank you to everyone. And once again, I hope I can, it's not easy. I'm telling you, as you walk forward in this and you try to stay helpful, there will be the voice and it will show up and it will say you're doing too much. And it's not something that's going to go away. And it is what the problem is. It is what you're going to deal with. And it's not the actual thing that's out in the world that you're going to deal with. It's that voice saying you do too much, whether it's at your job, your relationship with your family. And that is actually the source of the problem right there. It's not the actual thing of doing too much. Nobody could do too much. I used to say, I wondered if I was going to get like put to hell because I tried to help too much, you know, because something in my head would tell me that I'm helping too much, you know, and it's just like that. And so I've went through a lot of pain, and I needed this tonight, and I always do. And, you know, I can't tell you any event, or I can't tell you anything of why there feels to be so much pain. I just think the COVID buildup and everything that's happened, and, you know, seeing just the lack of smiles in stores and the masks on people, and the constant negativity on the news, and the constant just, you know, feeling that this stuff will never end, feeling that this COVID thing just is never going to end, and life is never going to be the same again. And it's overwhelming. And I'm glad everyone can come here and hear this, and hopefully my pain and the way I process it will help you. So once again, thank you. We'll see you all next week.
It does, Art. It does. All right. So this is a dedication from Yvette.